The Bureau of Labor Statistics just released its June inflation data, showing a better than expected result. The consumer price index rose 3.5% in June. Now that's a cool off of the 4.2% rise in May. National Economic Council Director Kevin Warsh addressed the report earlier today.
It's really about the best CPI report we've seen in 6 years. There were, I think it was 67 Bloomberg economists that forecasted what it would be, and it beat expectation for all 67 of them. And I think the reason is that not only did energy prices go down a lot, which is something that people expected, but there are so many signs of the success of President Trump's policies. So, for example, we got a big decline in drug prices. We got a big decline in car insurance costs because we've increased the rule of law. It's no longer the case that people are rioting in our cities everywhere and stealing the cars. And so going thing by thing, there's so much good news of this report that we could go on forever.
He says much of that with a smile on his face. All of this comes, of course, on a big day on Capitol Hill. Fed Reserve Chair Kevin Warsh appears before lawmakers. This is the first time since his confirmation. Plus, Supreme Court justices testify before lawmakers. They're not talking about recent issues or recent rulings, but rather about the High Court's 2027 budget. So let's go live to Capitol Hill and CBS News congressional reporter Taurean Small. So, Taurean, you're listening into this in real time. Is the Fed chair saying anything different than his answers during confirmation hearings?
Yeah, I think obviously inflation is top of mind for everyone. But before that, I want to point out something that has been on the minds of Democrats on this panel for a while now, and that's Fed independence. There's no question or illusions that President Trump had beef with Warsh's predecessor Jerome Powell, and he had an affinity for Warsh. A lot of Democrats were concerned that coming into this role, he would align the president's interests over the country's stakes and interests as well. This was something that Warsh addressed, and he said that at no point did he want this to become politicized, saying that the Fed's independence is sacrosanct, arguing that it's central to the integrity of the central bank, and that his goal moving forward was to prove and instill confidence in these lawmakers that there would remain or at least be an air of independence from the president's agenda. But on inflation, like you pointed out at the top of this, 3.5%, it is slightly cooler than the May report, but still significant year over year, and it's also above that 2% marker that the Fed had initially said that they were hoping for. This is what Warsh had to say about inflation.
The members of our committee have no tolerance for persistently elevated inflation, and we share a resolute commitment to ensure price stability. This was the focus of our June meeting, at which we decided to hold the target range in the Fed funds rate at 3.5 to 3.75%. Now, naturally, our work at the Fed demands a proper reading on economic conditions.
Another really important and I think standout moment from this hearing has been around the conversation of crypto, stable, and meme coins. Warsh said that he and the Fed were not in the business of bailouts when it comes to that volatile market. But then there was an exchange between Representative Al Green and him, where Green pointed out the fact that President Trump, in his words, have made millions daily, while also, in his words, Americans have lost billions of dollars, pressing him on whether or not that was cause for concern for Warsh. Warsh deflected, saying that, again, they would be studying and monitoring that market, but did not directly comment on the president's meme or crypto investment.